The following announcement has been paid for by Perched on the Top Rope.
Having been part of Eastern Championship Wrestling and having been part of Extreme Championship Wrestling, was there a notable difference between the two, as in how everything worked and the workers worked and whatnot?
Absolutely. In Eastern Championship Wrestling, it was Todd stepped in where Joel Goodhart left off. Like the original Tri-State Wrestling Alliance was, Joel Goodhart doing the booking and Larry Winters, who was one of my teachers at the wrestling school. And those guys did an amazing job. In my eyes, TWA was the true precursor to Extreme Championship Wrestling. Like when Todd came in and took over that role of Joel Goodhart, Todd didn't really know the business. And he tried going into a booking role, and like those shows, I mean, I'm grateful that I was able to be part of it because it gave me my true start in the business. And Todd gave me a chance. Like he didn't have to. I never got my actual debut. I mean, I had to do a tryout match for him. Me and my partner, we were in the Hell Riders, and our tryout match was that he was on the board of a local charity, and I forget what the charity was. It might have been for cystic fibrosis or something like that. But he was a major contributor and a major person for that organization. And he would do a free show at their summer camp every summer. And that's where I had my tryout. It was me and my partner against Steve Richards and I think it was the Delaware Dynamo. It was a guy from the Tri-State Wrestling Alliance too. And from there is where, Todd gave us our chance and our start and started booking us on the shows. So I'm forever grateful to Todd and Eastern Championship Wrestling. The product itself, I was not a fan of. I was not happy with it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't think it was any good. I really didn't. I was very disappointed in the product and the direction that they choose to go. They were trying to distance themselves from, I don't want to say the hardcore, but Tri-State Wrestling Alliance. And TWA was built on hardcore. And it was truly extreme. And like the fans of ECW would have, that didn't know TWA would have ate that stuff up. I mean, it was that's where I became a huge fan of Cactus Jack. That's where he really, broke big, was in TWA and his feud with Eddie Gilbert. And then fast forward, ECW gets TV and Todd hires Eddie Booker, and that was a huge Eddie Gilbert mark for going back to the 80s and Hot Stuff International and all that stuff. So I was ecstatic because here we are, because I knew what Eddie's done in the business. I knew his work and I knew his booking. So I was like, this is going to be huge for us. And it was the exact opposite. Because they were using guys like Snuka, Morocco, and guys who I felt were not going to be good for the product that I was used to. You wouldn't expect to see a Snuka or Morocco doing a hardcore match and stuff like that. And I knew that was the direction that the company had to get back to regain our fans and everything. And just, the crowds weren't there. We were doing shows and it was, a couple hundred people maybe if you were lucky. And the fans just weren't. There was the true hardcore Philly fans that were faithful to the product, but not like what became with Extreme. It was night and day. So, I was, and the way it was run was, it was run like an indie company. It was run like a local indie show, indie company. It was a bunch of friends, and all the boys were all friends. A lot of local Philly guys that were, the main core of the company of the early Eastern Championship Wrestling. But when I went back as a Dudley and was in that locker room with Extreme Championship Wrestling, it was totally different. It was a very different product. And even going back to Eastern Championship Wrestling with Eddie Gilbert and the TV tapings we did and all, it was run a little different, but not much different than when Todd was running it.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching that video. If you liked what you saw, make sure you hit the like button And make sure you hit subscribe so you can get all our content here at Perched on the Top Rope. And fans, remember, spoiler free's the way to be. I'm out.